Hello my gorgeous makeup loving friends, how's it going? Welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hi, my name is Teresa. Pretty standard video today, it's a rated or slated. I got an unnecessary purchase, as in I purchased it, didn't need it, but there you go, that's my standard purchasing style. And I got the new Beauty Bay Christmas stuff. I know it's October, what are we doing dealing with Christmas stuff? Anyways, it's limited edition, I get a lot of FOMO. And they've done this before where they come out with something gorgeous and then I get annoyed. Anyways, it's a whole thing. So it's the Age of Opulence palette and the trio of pigments. Now I didn't pick up the 9-pan neutral palette, it just ain't my jam. But this is the eyeshadow palette in question. Yeah, it bears a lot of similarities to the Book of Magic. My friend Eve has done a video on this. I'm gonna link that down below. But this is the look I came up with. You know the general gist, if you've watched my videos before, there's gonna be some swatches, a tutorial on this, and eventually a review. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, then do please keep on watching. Remember lads, try not to be intimidated by my beauty. It's difficult, but I believe in you. I have the Beauty Bay Age of Opulence and I also have the little Pigments. Didn't get the 9-pan palette because I didn't completely take leave of my senses, which is unusual for me. But let's have a little swatch of the palette, which this was what I thought we were going to get when they were sneak peeking that they were coming out with a collection. It turned out to be Disney. Because this feels very much like the Book of Magic too. Now, my dear friend Eve is actually doing a video where she's going to compare them. I haven't seen it yet. I don't think she's filmed it yet. But I'm going to link her channel down below so you can have a little look. So, let's just have a little swatcheroo, a swatchy poo. So, this is the first row. We have RSVP, then Prohibition, Gold Digger, Hope, and Noir. All seems to swatch pretty decently so far. I like it's all very like 1920s themed. Like it all kind of makes sense. There seems to be a sort of a duochrome in there. Oh yeah, okay. So we then have Speakeasy, a Speakeasy, yeah, and Champagne, Rich, I wish I was, Vintage, curfew. I am 31. I do not have a curfew. Thank you very much. Although my cat does expect me to be back by at least 11. So maybe I do. Who knows? Now, the penultimate row. Ooh, that's a blue in there. Jazz. And all that jazz, I'm gonna rouge my knees. Flapper. Totally can tell they wanted to call this the Great Gatsby palette, you know. Then we have Age, so like the Age of Opulence. Oh, that's nice. Silk Stockings. Oh yeah, no, I'll take a bit of tights instead, thanks. Revival. Oh, that's I'm gonna cover my body in that. That is a good one. And very last row. Do you know what? It's a lot more purple neutral leaning than I thought it was. Then Dandy, Crush, then Velvet, Decadent, and Lavish. Yeah, and then I have the 3 pigments. So there's a sort of a blue, it's in the shade Fountain, we have Fringe, and then we have Satin. So Fringe appears to be a sort of a duochrome. So I keep whacking things, well done Teresa. So this is the blue from it. So let's pop it here. Yeah, I didn't take much now, just to give you an idea, because I hate like whacking on a pile of pigment. Then we have Fringe. Interesting, there's a top on this one, but there wasn't on the other one. Okay, so that one, okay. And then this is the last one we have. It's quite a coppery one, at least it looks like it. I'll pop it down here. Oh, that's nice, but very similar to this one. So I kind of feel like they didn't entirely think that out. How unusual. Like, even that is very similar to that. So you could have done without the pigments, is all I'm saying. Don't panic buy like me. Look, at least I didn't get the £9 neutral palette. I was never going to get the £9 neutral palette because I have some sense about what it is that I like. She said while sporting a moustache. Anyways, these are beautiful, beautiful swatches. Yeah, so you know the drill. Next, I'm going to attempt to make a look. So keep on watching. That's the next bit. Okay, bear with me. I know I look manic, but like when the rest of the face is on, it might make sense. Oh, who knows? Look, I'm putting a lot of faith into this. I have this Jessup JE03. It's a small blender. Found I needed a little one. And I'm going into the shade Speakeasy, because I'm a speakeasy gal. Take a look at those yams. I don't know. I really shouldn't be allowed to speak 1920s American. That's what that is, isn't it? So I'm just stamping that on. Nothing major. Now, a lot of people have likened this to the Book of Magic, which, you know, is a bit, not a bit silly, of Beauty Bay mostly, because it's like they made the Book of Magic limited edition, and I've seen people selling it on Depop for like astronomical amounts of money, just being like, hey, because it's limited edition, everyone gets like FOMO, and I hate that. I hate seeing people take advantage of other people that way. It just kind of, it bugs me. But they've brought this out, and I'm like, okay, this is exactly what I thought we would see a couple of months ago when Disney came out with their thing. I'm now taking this Jessup 223, and this time I'm going into the shade Dandy. Everything's fine and dandy. The packaging is gorgeous on this, by the way. But yeah, I just thought it was interesting that they came out with this colour story again. Now, is it a direct dupe? No, I actually think the colours are a bit deeper in this one. I think it's a brilliant complementary palette. Like I said, my friend Eve is doing a video comparing them. She should have it up right about the same time as mine, I don't know. But I'm going to link her channel down below in the description box, so have a little look. I also have an affiliate link to get this palette if you are interested in any way, shape or form. Yeah, I mean, that'll do, pig. That'll do. Now, this Jessup 223, again, oh, I know I like my Jessups. And I'm going into the shade Flapper, which is, quite frankly, very relevant for me because if you don't know me, when I get very excited, I have a tendency to flap. My hands flap, the whole thing. So I'm just stamping it up. And yes, I am bringing it up into my eyebrows. Why not? I am not like my gorgeous friend Elena, who has a crazy amount of eyelid real estate. I have tiny eyes. It's very upsetting, actually. I'd love to get like an eyelid lift or something, because I have quite hooded eyes. Very upsetting. So I'm just doing little swishy swishy, smooshy smooshy. That's the correct terms, right? Yeah? Swishy swishy, blendy blendy, smooshy smooshy. Now I have this Spectrum B07. I'm going to put it through my colour switch, because I can't have a video where I don't use the colour switch. And I'm just taking it dry and blending up. They do blend very well. I think they've made sure that the shades obviously correspond with each other, but are a couple of tones out from each other, like in terms of their depth, which makes it a lot easier then for blending. So quite smart. But they're not so close then that it's like, ugh, this is stupid. So I think they've done well in that respect. Not gonna get annoyed at them over that. Get annoyed at them over other things, you know, but not that. That's relatively okay in terms of the blending. I'm taking the 223 again, and I'm going back into Flapper again. I think the thing that I learned from Daniela when she did my makeup was the whole build then take away, build then take away. And I'm trying to do that now. Lord knows I do not have her talent, but I am trying. I like to think I have learned something from her. So I'm just swirly swirly up into the brows. Let's pretend I have that space. Fake it till you make it, my friends. Fake it till you make it. And I'm taking the 223 again, and I'm going into dandy, because everything's fine and dandy. Actually, it's funny, my cat Darcy, myself and Sahil actually called him Darcy Doodle Dandy. He's staying with my parents at the moment because my plan had been I come back with Cece, then bring Cinnamon back once he's had his surgery, because he had to have surgery on his eyes, because like basically there was something wrong with his eyelid. But there have been some kind of additional, not complications, but like he has to have some extra surgeries. So because I'm not around during the day, I didn't want to leave him by himself, because I was like, that'd be cruel. So he's staying with my parents, and they're taking excellent care of him until he gets down. But I figured I'd bring Cinnamon down first and then Darcy. So because they it's not that they don't get along. Cinnamon gets along with everyone, but Darcy just wants to eat Cinnamon because Darcy's a very hungry boy. Taking the JE03 again, and I'm going into Speakeasy. Sorry, that was totally unnecessary information that you didn't need to have. But you're welcome. You now have insight into my incredibly dull life. I know. How lucky are you? I'm taking the Spectrum B07 again. And we're just going to do blending, because apparently that's where we are with our lives now. Just lots of blending. Do the two eyes match? No, not even slightly. I definitely took this up much further in terms of the darker colour. So I think I'm going to try and take a bit more of, was it Flapper, and bring it down here, in the hope that it will kind of diffuse a bit. There you go. Who knows? Do you know? Please tell me you know what I'm doing. Somebody has to know what it is that I'm doing, because it sure as hell is not me. Now, do you know what? That's good enough. Will you get exceptional quality on this channel? No. Will you be entertained? No. What are you watching? Don't know. Taking the Spectrum A12, and I am going into the shade Velvet. Now, I found that this shade isn't wildly pigmented. This takes a bit of work. I suppose because it's like a blue leaning purple, so it isn't wildly pigmented. So you have to really kind of dig into the pan to get it to show up. Like it does. And when it does, you're actually okay with it. Like it's fine. Do I think it's the best of this sort of shade that I've ever had? No. I think this could have definitely been improved upon, in my humble opinion. There's a shade in the Lowest Cosmetics palette that is similar to this in terms of the tone. It's in the Gone Rogue. I think, is it called Nonconformist? I want to say it's Nonconformist. And I think well, no, I know it performs a lot better than this. So if you like this exact shade of purple, just FYI, just know there's something else out there. Because I do find this a little bit difficult to pack on and get it to kind of stay like a Tinder lover. It's there for a little bit and then it goes. Never really sticks around. Yeah, I just can't really get it to build very well. Like, because you can even see over here it kind of faded a little bit. So it's not the best in that sense. I mean, there's a lot worse, Lord knows, but taking this Morphe brush, it's from one of those sets, and we're just going to just swish back and forward. So there's a bit more of a gentle blend between that. Do you like how I'm saying all these things like I know what I'm doing? I don't. There's very little I know what I'm doing in my life. Although I've had a really rubbish time of it recently, but it looks like things are on the up. I'm not going to say anything yet, but maybe in a few weeks I might do a little video to say what has been going on in my life, because it's been a lot. I'm taking this Zoeva 225, which the gorgeous Daniela gifted to me when we were together in, well, I want to say Edinburgh, but we weren't in Edinburgh. We were in Mrs. Flat in Alloa. But she was like, this is brilliant for like packing on black and like diffusing it. And she's so right. So that's exactly what I'm using it for. I am using this brush and I'm going into the shade Noir. which is the exact colour or name of the shade that she used on me with this brush. So, memories all alone in the moonlight. No, I don't actually sing like that. I'm just taking the mic. I don't know. I'm in a funny mood today. I think I'm starting to come out of a really, really bad time, and just had a nice Zoom with Messa. She knows what it was all about, and that weirdly also put me into a nice frame of mind as well. So, do you know what? That's a pretty decent black. Is it the best black I've ever had? No. But do you know what? I think that's pretty darn good. You know, for the price. I wouldn't throw it out of bed for eating crisps anyway. I'd throw it out of the bed if it didn't share the crisps with me. That's a mortaler, you know? A mortal sin. There we go. Yeah. It's a nice one. I think the thing as well I learned from when Daniela did my makeup was she spends a lot of time blending. I do not spend a lot of time blending. And I knew that about myself. I know I'm a lazy bee, right? I've accepted that about myself. I mean, several of my PE teachers said that. Thanks, Miss Leonard. And I seem to have kind of generalised that to this facet of my life. So there you go. I'm taking this Jessup JE05, and this time I'm going into Curfew, right? Which is this kind of navy blue. Very nice, I have to say. And I'm gonna pop that on top. It works nicely with the black, in my opinion. There we go. Packing it on. Don't know why I'm talking like that. Does anyone else know? No, somebody save me. I was listening to the radio today and they were talking about the new Venom film. You know, the Tom Hardy, you know, Venom. I'm so excited. I really want to see it. So that'll be an upcoming cinema trip. I do love that we can go to the cinema again. Isn't it so funny? It's like all these like little teeny tiny things. Like I met up for a friend of mine, or not for a friend, with a friend of mine that I haven't physically seen in almost 2 years, and it was such good fun. Like just getting to see him, and well, I saw them because it was like my friend and his girlfriend, but she's also my friend too. So like I can't just be like, oh, one friend and not two friends. Anyway, sorry, that was a weird explanation. But yeah, it was just really cool, and so he got to meet them, and he was all dressed up in his little shirt, looking all cute. But he gets so nervous. It's really sweet. Not as nervous as me in social situations, but still, you know, it's nice that I'm not the only one who is socially terrified. Taking this Morphe brush, and I'm nervous about this one. I'm going into the shade Lavish. Now, the reason why I'm nervous about this one is if you pack it on, it leaves a line, right? It's very difficult to blend out. So wherever you pack it on, it just kind of stays there. It just squats there, you know? The worst tenants ever. Except they're not tenants because they're not even paying bloody rent, right? So if I pack that on, you might see how it kind of leaves, I don't want to say like a scum, but like a definite hint of where it's been, you know? It's like that guy who went on a gap year to like Belgium, and all he talks about is that couple of months that he spent in Belgium. Just stuck in it, you know? But you can kind of see it kind of sticks there, which is a bit frustrating. And yeah, I am dipping in for more because apparently I am a glutton for punishment. Oh, how very S&M of me. Yeah, you can kind of see it doesn't blend the absolute best. And this isn't a bad brush for this now, I have to say. So it's not that it's the brush, because I've used this many a time before. I think it's just this shade of blue. It just doesn't want to do what I want it to do. So, you know, could be worse though. It's all very first world problems. And again, I'm taking the JE05 and I'm going into curfew. Look at me learning the words, learning the sound. Oh, I'm so good. Oh, 10 out of 10 for me, remembering things. Well done, Teresa. This is the highlight of your YouTube career. Yeah, career. I'm really going places, guys. I'm going places. Okay. That's not going out too badly. Like that. Pretty happy with that. By the way, in case you're wondering, the gold liner that I have on the other eye, which I will be putting on this eye as well, is the Urban Decay Razor Sharp liner in the shade Gold Rush. And it's really annoying because it's one of those products that I actually really liked from Urban Decay, and then they bloody discontinued it. Like, why? Why do you do these things to me? Like, they can make such good products and then they just F it up. Like, what are you doing? I'm trying to give this loads and loads and loads of depth. You know? Like a Hemingway novel. Except his weren't really that deep. I was like, well, the metaphors are pretty clear. Even I can get them. Taking this away then again and going back into noir. And swooshy, 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 swooshy. The weather has actually started to like break. It's getting really kind of cold and chilly. I'm not gonna lie, I love it. Like, I love colder weather. I love getting like woolly jumpers and, you know, hibernating under several layers of clothes. Like, that's my happy place. I know I've packed on too much black, it's fine. Like, I'll go in again and I'll add more of curfew, it's fine. Everything's gonna be fine. So I'll take more of curfew again and pop that on top. But yeah, I just love this time of year. I love it. Love that we're coming into Halloween. Of course, it's an Irish holiday, Samhain. So very exciting. But most importantly, my girls are coming over. Oh, I'm so excited. I've missed it, Daniela. Lucy, Tia and Frank are coming over, and I am beside myself with excitement. Like, I can't function. I'm going back into that blue, the one that causes trouble. We'll see, can we just disperse it a bit more? And yes, I know I am putting it all the way out here. And you know what? You're just going to have to deal with it. Yeah, you may not like this. That's fine. That was very passive aggressive of me, wasn't it? It's like, yeah, you don't like it, that's fine. I don't care about your opinions. I mean, I didn't say that, but there was the undertone of that there, wasn't it? Jeez. It's like, we get it, Teresa. You've had a hard couple of months. Doesn't mean you can be rude. I'm going back in with the Spectrum A12 into that shade Velvet. Again, like I said, I don't like this shade. I think it's not good. No other way of saying that. It's just not good, guys. Not good. I'm taking a Morphe brush again and swishy, swishy. And are we surprised I did a cut crease? No, because like that seems to be the one thing I just do. I'm like, I don't know what to do. I do a cut crease. Jesus, Teresa, learn to do other things. And I'm like, no. Can't be bothered. And to be fair, I'm horribly lazy. Like, I mean, horrendously lazy. Is it very well blended here? No, but I don't have to worry about that because the next bit is just the cut crease. So I'm going to do that off camera. I will at some point do, I think, something as well down here because, do you know what? It's the age of opulence. We're going for it, lads. We're going for it. And I will glue things to my face as well. You probably know that from the intro. But I'm only realising that now. Also, what the hell has happened to this brush? My God. I assume it was CC. Why did I put it back in? It's unusable. Anyways, whatever. I'm going to F off now. We'll come back in a little bit. Okay, so that bit is done. And it's only now that I'm looking down and I'm like, oh my God, I use so many brushes. Why are there so many brushes? So that's for me to clean up later because I am doing an Elena and actually doing that these days. Anyways, I'm taking this Jessup, words are hard, 237, and I'm going into quite possibly the most beautiful blue in the world, Revival. Can I be 100% honest with you guys. I think I'd just buy this palette for this blue, and I hate myself for that. Like, I hate. Wilma, look away. Don't look at this, Wilma. Look, avert thine eyes. Avert thine eyes. Because I talked Wilma out of this, because I was like, no, you don't need it. You don't need it. It's totally unnecessary. Oh, this is fucking gorgeous. Like, I don't want to have children, but I would run away with this colour and have babies. And then quickly regret my decision because I have no maternal instincts. Oh my god, look at that. And then I kind of thought that the pigment that came in the trio was quite similar, but I did put it over on the other eye and there's more of a greeny shift to it. So I did pop that on top in case you're wondering why they don't 100% match. But that's for later. But look at that, isn't that gorgeous? Does that not just make you think, maybe everything in the world is okay. Maybe we will work out as a society. That's probably too much to put onto a pigment, isn't it? Yeah, probably shouldn't be placing that much responsibility on one shade. But it is absolutely magnificent. I can see why they called this Revival. This does make you kind of go, oh yeah. Then I am taking the 237 again, it's a different one. And I'm going into the shade Decadent, which is a lovely blue purple, a blurple, like a blueberry sort of a shade. And I'm popping that now. By the way, I did put an extra shade on top, and again, in case you're wondering why this doesn't exactly match. This one isn't as pigmented as Revival. You do have to build this one up. So I definitely think in this palette, the shimmers are not created equally, in my opinion. But sure, I was going to say you don't care about my opinion. If you don't, then why are you watching this? It's obviously not to learn how to do good makeup. Maybe you're just here to like laugh at me and be like, God, look at the silly woman trying to smash things onto her face. Let's watch her and judge her. Ah ha 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 ha. Do you know what? Fair. If that's what you want to do at your time, you do you, boo. You do you. Yeah, you can see this isn't the most pigmented. And again, my 237 is a tried and trusted love of mine. Like, I never have any bother with it. So it's not the brush. So I'm popping that there. I'm trying to get it up to the top so that we've the line. But also, how lovely is that gold? It's almost gone, by the way. I'm so annoyed. Does anyone have like a liner that matches that? Like, it's a yellow gold, not like a silver gold. A yellowy gold. And I did realise when I was doing this, there's sort of like Jasmine from Aladdin vibes. I'm kind of here for it. Kind of love it. I'm taking this Zoeva 238. It's a fabulous little brush. And I'm going into the shade Ace, which is ironic because it's not very Ace, actually. It's very difficult to kind of get this shade to work. And then as I say, it's like, no, you can see you really can't get a lot of pigment off it. You really do just have to build it. It's not as good as Revival. Maybe I've just been spoiled by Revival. Oh, jeez, I had to take a big chunk there. Well done, Teresa. Don't do what I do, guys. Don't do what I do. It's all a terrible mess. But yeah, you can kind of see it's not the most pigmented. So I'm not wildly convinced in this as a shade. I think I've definitely come across. Like, if you're buying this palette for the purple, which would be, by the way, a weird reason to buy it for this one shade, said the woman who just said I would buy this palette for the shade Revival. But you know what I mean? Yeah, it's not wonderful. Because I know a few of you guys are like really into purple. Guy, I'm looking at you. I know you like blue more, but like purple as well. I was surprised actually you didn't go for this guy. You are showing remarkable restraint, and I'm proud of you. Very proud of you. Okay, what I'm doing now is I'm taking this Morphe M562. Yes, it is filthy and it has seen better days. Maybe it's filthy because it had better days. I don't know. Anyways, I'm going to do a little bit of swishy swishy here. So we're going to have them hang out together. Everything will be fine. It's all good. Yeah, so Sahil rang me while I was there doing my cut crease, and he was like, I miss you, and WhatsApp is down, and Facebook is down, and I was checking on you because I was worried. And I'm like, did you think I would be panicking because Facebook and WhatsApp were down? I'm like, I'm smashing makeup onto my face, man, I'm fine. Like, everything's grand. I was like, all right, I thought maybe you'd be more affected by this. I'm like, no, everything's fine. It was very sweet. He was like, oh, I miss you. He is totes my person. Yeah. Like, obviously anyone who knows me knows, like, as far as I'm concerned, I'm gonna settle down with this man. Settle down. Not settle. Settle down with. He's so sweet and so kind, and he has been with me through some really tricky stuff. I'm going into that dark blue again with this, and just kind of swishy over here. So I'm incredibly lucky to have him, and I know that. I know that. I'm in no doubt about that. I'm taking a separate Zoeva was it 238? Yes, 238. And what I'm doing is I'm going into this shade here, which is Fountain. So it's one of the pigments, because I wanted to kind of test the pigments and see what the story was. And you can kind of see, right, I thought that this shade was exactly the same as Revival, to which I was like, oh, for goodness sake, like, this is unnecessary. But if you see, yeah, do you see that? Hopefully you do. If not, you've no idea what it is I'm talking about. It is kind of like a bluey sort of a, and then I'm going to put a bit over here because I just wanted to kind of put it all together. Because I can. This is my channel and you can't tell me what to do. Or can you? I don't know. If you pay me enough, you probably could. Pay me enough and I'll call you daddy. JK, I won't. That's weird. Look, do you know what, lads? I'm in a weird mood today. Weird mood. Now I'm attempting to close this. I'm really bad at closing things, including chapters of my life. And now I'm using this one here. It's Fringe, and it's like a duochrome. And what I'm gonna do is I'm taking another M562 and I'm dipping it ever so slightly in, but shaking off a load of excess, because, by the way, this is very, very pigmented, and I'm popping that just on top. By the way, I will be putting more blue on top. It's just I want to have that kind of like in there because it kind of makes it a bit murkier. Do you see? And yes, I will be putting more of the blue on top, but I just want the two to kind of mix together because I think it makes it super interesting, in my opinion, in my humble opinion. I always remember when I was doing English in secondary school, our teacher used to always be like, don't say in my humble opinion just because you're trying to increase your word count. She was like, it's so stupid and we hate that as examiners. And I was like, oh, okay. I don't have any humble opinions. In my incredibly important opinion. There we go. Do you know what? I like that. I'm probably going to put, I think, some brown and gold maybe down here, like underneath. And I'm going to glue some stuff to my face, because if that doesn't say that I'm mentally functioning, I don't know what will. And I think I'm going to use one of these shimmers, either that one or probably this one, as a highlight. It'd help if I showed you it, because you know what, why not? Let's get as much use out of the palette as possible. Anyways, I'm going to feck off now. I'm going to listen to some music, and I'll do the rest of my face while staring off into the ether. I have returned, and in an attempt to answer the age-old question of how many things can Teresa glue to her face, the answer is everything. I will try to glue everything onto my face. And I know nobody asks me. In case you're wondering, I use the Benefit False Lashes Invisible Lash Glue. As far as I know, it's latex free, so keep that in mind. Anyways, this is the look that I did, and I was too lazy to do anything with my hair, so I dyed it back. So I'm going to zoom you in now so you can see the full thing. So you can see I glued a lot of things to myself. There's flowers, there's little pearls, there's another flower in there, there's like a little heart thing, there's a stone just gem thing. There's a lot of stuff going on here. I'll turn off the glasses. I've been hanging out with Sahil too much. Take off the glasses. You can see it a bit better now. Lots of pearls. Because I was going for that whole decadence, because they were like age of opulence. And that's all to do with like luxury and like glam. And I kind of figured, well, jewels and flowers and pearls and, you know, gems, that sort of thing. So this is what I came up with. I don't hate it. I'm actually really pleased with this. Like, in the words of Tia, who even is she? I mean, I'll be honest, I'm really pleased with myself for managing this look. Like, I know it's basic for a lot of people, you know, Miss Elena, etc. But for me, this is pretty good. I'm pretty pleased with myself. Okay, let's start off first with the trio. They're fine. They're totally fine. Decent pigment. Do I think that they're anything special? No. Do I think that they warrant the price tag? No. However, if you get them on sale, I would say, let's pick them up. Or if, you know, you've some spare points banging around. I think there's just as good out there, you know, Sample Beauty, etc. And I would say there's better out there, Pastel Roses. So for me, they're all right. I do think the blue shade is quite interesting when you like pop it on top of Revival. I thought that was nice. So, you know, I give them a 5 out of 10. You know, they're not bad, they're not good. Well, no, they're not. It's not that they're not good, but I'm just like, they're nothing that I would write home about, so they're definitely middle of the road, 5 out of 10. This was kind of an interesting one. I did use quite a few of the colours. I used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 out of the 20 shades. So not quite all, but a good few. The packaging is nice, let's be real, but that's not why we buy things. Or is it? I may have bought things for the packaging in the past. The shimmers are not created equally. I used this, by the way, as a highlight. It's not perfection as a highlight, you know, because there's a sort of a glitterness to it, but that's fine. I don't really care. Like, but some people, that would be a no bueno. This is quite a nice kind of shade for under the eye, and I put this under the eye as well. Revival, absolutely gorgeous. I think this shade was actually very nice as well. These two shimmers I wasn't wildly impressed with. I thought that they kind of lacked a bit of a punch, so I was a bit let down by those. This shade was not very good at all. A lot of issues with kind of getting the pigmentation to be there. This was a very good black. I was very surprised by that, and that was a nice navy. So in all, what do I think of this? I don't think this is quite up to some of their previous palettes. Like, I don't think this is as good as, say, the Wilderness palette. But that may be because there's greens in there, and I do lose my mind a little bit over the greens. But I think that the shimmers just aren't quite up to Beauty Bay standards. So I'm going to be really harsh on this, and I'm going to give this a 6.5 out of 10. I think it's actually still pretty good, good value. You can create some nice looks out of this. I just would have liked to have seen kind of some better formulas there in terms of the shimmers, because I mean the Revival shade alone, that was nice. That was, do you know what? They could have actually made this whole section just that shade and I'd have been happy. That was absolutely like, I love that shade. But yeah, I mean, if you want to get it, you go treat yourself. I do have an affiliate link down below if you want to get that or anything else off of Beauty Bay. It's nice because I get something from it, and then you get something from it, and then we all wander off into the sunset happy with ourselves. Or regretting our life choices. I don't know. I'm not you. But anyways, that's it. That's the whole kit and caboodle. We've talked about the palette. We've talked about the pigments. Yeah, that's it. I know quite a few of you guys got it. What do you think? Don't go based upon my opinion. You know, other people could love it. They could hate it. Always have a little look around at other reviews. But that's it. Do please like, comment and subscribe. Turn on that notification bell so you can see more of my videos. Do please share, because sharing is caring. Unless, of course, it's an STD, in which case, you know, wrap it up. Don't be gross. But that's it. That's the end of the video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.